For this week's intro, I was going to do a notable scene or quote from 2016's Suicide Squad. The problem is there just aren't any, so I guess enjoy the deck. What is up, my friends? Welcome to the Monday video here on CoolStuffInc.com, and we got a sweet one for you this week. This is a deck that I played actually before the Euro banning. This is a kind of a mono black aggro sacrifice deck. I went on a pretty sweet run at the end of the season into high mythic with this deck. That was before Euro was banned, so now Euro is gone as well. And this is a deck I'm really excited about. I wrote about it in my article on CoolStuffInc.com last Friday. So for a full breakdown of a deck, definitely check out that article on Cool Stuff Inc. But the long and short of it is, this is kind of like an aggressively slanted synergy deck. We've got a lot of one-drops, a lot of cheap spells. Skyclave Shade being one of our best cards here as a recursive threat that is also just hits hard. It's hard to kill, very scrappy scrounge Duress. We got a lot of grind too, though. Of course, Lurrus of a Dream Den, the namesake of the deck. No companion here, just playing Lurrus as a regular magic card. Very good at recurring all of our cheap cards, as well as Ayara First of Locthwain. This is just a card draw, life draining engine. And one of the really cool things about this deck is this deck can play a lot of different roles. You can be aggressive against control decks. We can be more controlling against creature decks. We can still be pretty fast and disruptive against ramp decks. We have a lot of avenues here. And again, you can go read the article on CoolStuffInc.com for like the full breakdown of a deck. It's over 2,000 words. Definitely check that out. But for now, we got a nice one here. We got a nice one. Looking forward to playing this one. A lot of cool sacrifice synergies. And of course, Agadeem's Awakening. This card is so good. Of course, this can return Archfiend's Vessel, make it a 5/5. Just a great value card. And between the fact that we have Agadeem, the Undercrypt, as well as Castle Locthwain in our mana base, this deck never floods. So we have an aggressive deck with a low curve that never floods and grinds really well, which is a really awesome combination. So, deck's super sweet. I can't wait to battle. And but first, quick word from our sponsor at CoolStuffInc.com.
Cool Stuff Inc. is proud to sponsor Jim Davis. We offer great deals on card games, tabletop RPGs, board games, and more. Get a free token featuring Jim Davis and take 5% off your next order if you use the code JIM5 at checkout. CoolStuffInc.com. Cool stuff in stock.
All right, here we are for our first match with Lurrus squad. The ladder is just reset, so let's do some damage. All right. So, opening hand looks great. Skyclave Shade, one of our most important cards. We got a Lurrus, Demonic Embrace, and Bloodchief's Thirst. Very solid hand. The deck has tons of one-drops in it, so we're likely to draw one as well. So, oh, we're on the play. Just kidding. Just kidding. Fabled Passage on turn 1. That's a good sign, because Fabled Passage is usually used to trigger double landfall. Lotus Cobra, Omnath, things like that. So, the opponent has to play it on turn 1. It definitely signifies their hand's a little bit weak. They get a Forest, sure. Looking at a Lotus Cobra? Yes, we are. Well, one thing is that we're pretty good at is killing Lotus Cobra. So, I guess we'll offer the trade, which I doubt they'll take, but... Right? And then we'll play land. Unfortunately, we're going to play a little off-curve here, because obviously playing Bloodchief's Thirst and not playing the Embrace or the Lurrus kind of stinks, but Lotus Cobra is one of those cards you can't really ever let live. So, it's fine. We're pushing damage. Lotus Cobra again, it's fine. And no land. Wow, okay. So now we've got a Lurrus Bloodchief's Thirst turn or a Demonic Embrace Bloodchief's Thirst turn. Demonic Embrace certainly hits harder. The thing is that these decks usually play Bone Crusher Giant or Stomp as their removal spell of choice. Which means going all in on the Shade. Well, obviously we can just get the Shade back with a land drop. Might be better to just play Lurrus and set that up instead. It's a pretty big attack, though. I think we're gonna make them have it. I think we're gonna Bloodchief's Thirst here, and we're just gonna cast the Demonic Embrace. Let it ride. It's a pretty big swing. Demonic Embrace is one of our best cards against ramp. It just flies over and kills them. Can't afford to get into a long game with a ramp deck because they have too many tools. Alright, so... I mean, their Lurrus Culvers wouldn't have been good anyway because they didn't have any lands. But sure, we'll take that. So, against the rampy decks, we assume they're playing a ramp deck. They could be like a red-green aggro deck, which didn't draw any lands. But we're going to take out our Deadweight, our Village Rites. Village Rites is a really cool grindy card. But not really interested in grinding against the ramp decks. We're not going to grind against, Genesis Ultimatum and things like that. So we just want to kill them. We're going to bring in our discard spells in Agonizing Remorse and Duress. Want to keep the Embrace and the Flyers. Tymaret's not too great. Maybe you don't want all the Duress. Their important cards are spells, but realistically, we don't want to miss on a Duress. Want to bring in the extra Heartless Act too as a way to deal with Omnath. Can kill Lotus Cobra too. I'm gonna shave a Lurrus here. Lurrus is also kind of a grindy card, and just trying to go over the top here. Honestly, I think we're pretty happy with this. Again, we're also not entirely sure they're playing ramp. They could be playing like a red-green aggro deck. You know what? I think because of that, I think we're gonna leave the 2 Duresses out. We're gonna bring in the 3rd Heartless Act, and I'm gonna leave Tymaret in. Tymaret also just wears Demonic Embrace really well, so we're gonna hedge a little bit just in case we think they're not playing ramp. They could be red-green. We didn't get a ton of info that game. We'll see. We'll see. So we're kind of like hedged halfway between ramp and red-green aggro. Sure. This hand's kind of mopey, but this hand draws a creature. It's good. Demonic Erase turn on. I'm going to keep this. If they're playing red-green aggro, this hand's also pretty good. So let's see what's up over there. All right. They're playing ramp. They are playing ramp. Confirmed. So makes our hand worse. Makes our hand worse. Hopefully we'll draw 1 or 2 drop. We have tons of them. We have 12 1-drops. And a decent amount of 2s. We're not able to do that. So land Cultivate, sure. All right, so yeah, they're just playing the typical Omnath deck. We draw. So our draw steps have been pretty terrible. We've drawn basically 2 lands and a 2nd Demonic Embrace. So slightly unfortunate keep based on what they're playing, and then Escape the Wilds. Jeez, and then the game played out really bad for us. Well, they hit Escape the Wilds, Ultimatum, which is probably pretty good for us, honestly, because they can't cast all of these. So got some bricks there. We're going to play our Ayara, because we should actually draw a creature. We could play Rankle, but it's not really the best. I don't know what modes are super exciting. Discard isn't very exciting, and everything else isn't very exciting either. We're going to play Ayara. And we're going to play the Agadeem Awakening as a land. Find it very unlikely we're going to be casting Agadeem's Awakening. Alright, they're going to cast Escape the Wilds again. So they're going to abandon all of their ultimatums. Wow. Alright, they found a Gargaroth and some Cultivates. I mean, they're ramping, but not actually doing a ton. And these ultimatums are going to go away. That's awesome. Wow, so pretty rough hand for them too, I guess. We're going to give them the old Rankle here. And can set up for double Demonic Embrace. It's kind of cool too. They have so many cards in hand. They have so many cards, I'm actually okay having us both draw and lose life, I think. Because they want to play the cards off of their Escape the Wilds anyway, because they'll lose them otherwise. So them having an extra card in their hand doesn't seem like it matters. Alright, and then we've got so many lands. I think we can hold on to the Awakening. Just play this and say go. I mean, now they're dead to double Demonic Embrace, so Storm's Wrath is gross. And an Elder Gargaroth. Okay. I mean, the good news is we can just Awakening both these creatures back later, so that's fun. So they lose their Cultivate. Still have a bunch of cards in their hand. But we are drawing a lot of lands. Alright, so we're going to kill Elder Gargaroth, because you kind of have to do that. Just kind of a thing. I think we're going to just cast Bloodchief's Thirst for the full amount. Because we're not doing anything else this turn, so kill that, leave up Heartless Act, and then next turn we can Awakening for Rankle and Ayara. They have a bajillion cards here, but Feldar Retreat is good. Feldar Retreat is good. Evolving Wilds, sure. Dryad of the Elysian Grove, okay. Yeah. Okay. Cultivate. Alright, I mean, sure. I mean, we could kill the Dryad with the Heartless Act. They've got 4 cards in hand. I mean, they have 4 2/2s. They had an Omnath that would have played it, I guess. I think we're going to pop off here. Sure. Oh, wow, I screwed up. Okay. That was just a mistake. I just didn't think about that. They had the Evolving Wilds in play. Alright, so that's a mistake on my part. Hopefully we don't die. Gonna pause cast the Awakening for 4. To get back our 2 creatures. We're gonna gain some life. Tag with Rankle. And I believe we're going to do probably nothing here. Maybe like discard. We're going to double Demonic Embrace next turn. I don't think discard's worth it. I think it's just nothing. Just gotta hope we don't die on the coming turn. Yeah, I think we just do nothing. So they go. And ideally, they'll just make a bunch of creatures. They can obviously pump their creatures here, so they can possibly present lethal. This is 20. Yeah, we're going to block with the Ayara. But hopefully the double Demonic Embrace can get it done, so... That is 10 power, or 20 power. Another land drop adds another 4 power to the board. Bone Crusher? Why, they just got it all? They got it all? Spikefield Hazard. Alright, we're dead. They got us. Alright, so our pretty bad hand there, unfortunately, didn't really do us any favors. But now we'll get the sideboard properly for the matchup. So we kind of like half sideboarded and kept a kind of sketchy hand because we were kind of hedging. Weren't really sure. Now we bring all of our dresses back in. Take out the Tymaret. Honestly, Lurrus is pretty unexciting also. And 4 Heartless Act. They showed us Gargaroth also, so I think 3 Heartless Act is enough. 4 Thirst, 3 Heartless Act, and we'll shave. We'll go down to 1 Lurrus. I don't think we ever want to draw 2, but I think this is fine. So now we're on the play. Now we have all of our discard spells in, so I think we'll be in much better shape. We'll also keep our hand a little more tightly, because now we know they're playing ramp, so this is much better. We're going to keep this. Creatures first, because Duress wants to hit either Ultimatum or Escape the Wilds. I guess Cultivate's also okay too, but pretty nice being on the play here. So they play a Lotus Call where you get to kill it and Duress them and attack for 4, so... Spikefield Hazard on R31. So that's definitely the natural predator to Skyclave Shade, unfortunately, but Scorpion. All right, so let's Duress them. They've got Storm's Wrath and 2 creatures, so sure. However, they have Forest, and they are very far from actually casting Omnath, which is nice for us. So play that, play that. We got the kill spells, so unfortunately our clock has been severely stunted with the loss of Skyclave Shade. So. Alright, well they spike a Cultivate, which is fine, I guess. It doesn't mean that their Omnath is more live. Draw Agadeem's Awakening, sure. Alright, so we'll play Awakening as a land and say go. We have a Whisper Squad recruit or a Heartless Act up. So they go land Gargaroth here. We can kill it. Sure. Fortunately, they're going to get to Omnath, but Gargaroth has to die. And can't risk not drawing a land. We could try it. We could just squad, I guess, and then Heartless Act on our turn. We draw a land, we Bloodchief's Thirst, but actually that seems better. That seems better. Just do this. Use our mana here. Draw land. No. That's also a creature, though, so it's fine. So kill the Gargaroth. Play the Vessel. Omnath, they have fetch land too, so Omnath is going to gain them some life and make them some mana here. So we can't really stop it, but can't let Gargaroth stay in play, so just going to hope this turn isn't too bad for us. That wasn't bad at all. Alright. One Heartless Act. So they've gained 8 life off their Omnath because it's a reasonable Magic card. You know, it's definitely a totally fair card to print. And we'll just have to keep fighting, I guess. Why not gain 8 life and draw a card for your 4-drop, you know? Alright, pass turn. So a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. Skyclave Shade, sure. What are they up to over there? Spike Field Hazard. Alright, I mean, we're still laying the beats. They should be at 5, you know, if it wasn't for Omnath. But that's okay. That's okay. Cultivate's fine. They have lots of lands. Duress. I mean, I sort of doubt they have actually anything because they haven't done anything. But we'll cast this Duress, I guess. I mean, what else are we going to do with it? Yeah, figured as much. Alright, so just going to hope they brick for a turn or two here, I guess. That's a brick. I mean, this is one of the things about Euro being banned, is that they don't always have something to do. Ramp decks have this problem where if they just draw all ramp, don't draw any payoffs, that just happens sometimes. They have a lot of lands in their deck, and they have a lot of ramp cards. And Euro would always mitigate these games. This Cultivate would be a Euro, and they would have cast it and beaten us with it already. So definitely, you know, a pretty big loss for the deck, even though it doesn't seem like it's that big of a loss. All right, so Agonizing Remorse is a great draw, and now they're at 1. So let's see if we can not lose this game, 27-1. All right, that's an Omnath, but I don't think it's going to be enough. They can fetch land and gain some life and make some mana, but not enough, not enough. So that's a lot of Euro being banned. I think if Euro is in their deck that game, they win. If one of those cultivates was a Euro, we probably lose that game. So people were saying the Euro ban wasn't enough to slow Omnath down. It definitely is a factor for sure. So, all right, so 1-0 with the old Lurrus squad. This deck's sweet. I like this deck a lot. This is my kind of deck. I love decks that are kind of like a little lower on the power, a little higher on the synergy, a lot of choices, a lot of different, like, you know, you play differently versus different decks. You know, against aggro, we board out our Skyclave Shades and bring in our Nighthawks. Against control, we do this, you know, bring in Duresses, and just a really, really cool little deck here. It sounds great. Nice little side synergy here. Archfiend's Vessel is obviously great with Lurrus and great with our Agadeem's Awakenings, but also is a great thing for Demonic Embrace to go on. Makes a mini Baneslayer Angel, and if they kill it, it just goes to the graveyard. So, nice little synergy there. Opponent takes a few mulligans. Also have a Ayara here. Ayara is a great card draw engine with Whisper Squad and friends, and Skyclave Shade. So, a lot of really cool synergy in this deck. Turn Timber. Okay. Not a lot of info there. We picked up a kill spell, which is nice. We have Demonic Embrace to fly over. Alright. This is a red-green aggro deck, sure. So we'll see what our draw step yields here. It is a land, so we have the option of either embracing the Vessel, playing Ayara, or playing Squad and Bloodchief's Thirst. We don't want this Robber to really get us, but at the same time, like, if you go down to 3 cards in hand, it probably won't. I think I would rather play Ayara before we try and Demonic Embrace the Vessel. If we embrace the Vessel and they stomp it, doesn't really feel great. So let's play our 3-drop, and then we can spread out our cards next turn. So yeah, I like that. Ayara also just blocks Robber of the Rich. There's not a lot of ways to kill an Ayara. Like, the 3 toughness is actually... 3 toughness and mana cost of 3 is like a really good spot in this metagame, because it doesn't die to Stomp, doesn't die to Bloodchief's Thirst. And if they need to spend their turn to get rid of Ayara, then they're not able to play other things too. So there's a Robber. I'm not really interested in going for an Embrace into their open mana, so we're just going to Skyclave Shade attack. We're going to leave Ayara back and probably activate it, so... And we're going to play Whisper Squad, and just say go with the ability to activate the squad. We have a nice little draw engine here. We can kind of grind away. The Mammoth. Oliphant. So yeah, I think we're in a phenomenal shape now. Get a squad. Drain them with Ayara. Sack the squad. Draw a card. Deadweight. Demonic Embrace. Alright, so we're just going to embrace the Archfiend's Vessel and party hard, I think. Now that they can't... Unless they have literal shock in their deck. That should be a really good turn for us. Oh. Oh my, the most hidden keyword in Magic, Reach. For some reason, the 2/2 haster for 2 in red has Reach. You got me. You got me. I stand reached. Still not the worst thing in the world. 27-6. We gain 4 life. We trade with their creature. Could have been worse. Could have been worse. Definitely somewhat humorous though. We can just embrace and kill them next turn anyway. So, just pretty funny though. It's nice when the reach bug gets you and you doesn't cost you the game. So against an aggro deck, we're gonna fundamentally change our strategy. So we stop being kind of a creature beatdown deck, and we start being just kind of a mid-range, almost like a Jund deck. We bring in all of our removal. We bring in our Nighthawk Scavengers, and we cut all of our things that don't block or defend well. So 4 Skyclave Shade, hit the bench. 3 Demonic Embrace, hit the bench. Deadweight, Heartless Act, 4 Nighthawk Scavenger, and 2 Murderous Rider. And I don't love Rankle against creature decks. They usually have too many things in play, and the Edict isn't very good. And then we got to cut one more card here. All the cards seem so good. I mean, Tymaret is not... I guess Tymaret's not like the most amazing card. It blocks reasonably well, but I think cutting like a Scorpion or even a Whisper Squad isn't the worst. Kind of an Archfiend's Vessel too, honestly. Archfiend's Vessel loses some value with that Demonic Embrace. And yeah, I'm going to cut a Vessel actually. I think Vessel's fine. I think Scorpion and Squad are better 1-drops. I think Tymaret's worth having. So now we go into the game 2 with like 12 kill spells in our deck, as well as 4 Baneslayer Angels, and then a bunch of other must-kill cards. The fact that our Nighthawk Scavengers are bolstered by other must-kill cards like Lurrus and Ayara, and they can't really have that many kill spells because they'll have less creatures. If they have less creatures, we kill them all and they can't beat us. So decks that don't really have a way to draw cards, this lines up really, really well against. That is a disgustingly bad hand. All killer, no filler, but not in a good way. So we're going to mulligan this hand. This hand doesn't actually do anything. It's just 5 lands, 2 Lurrus. That's much better. That's much better. We're going to keep this. Then we're going to ship the Scorpion. So we have 2 kill spells, or a Vessel, and then a Lurrus to bring the Vessel back, which is great. Lurrus also has Deadweight, which is awesome. So ship Scorpion here. Pretty good hand. Pretty good hand. Ooh, a Fireblade Charger. And we draw Ayara, which is pretty good. I think I'm pretty fine just deadweighting this. We'll take one, but I think it's fine. If we end up having a creature in play, then when this dies, they can kill the creature, so... And a little nice subtext there is that we don't take any damage because the deadweight kills this at 0 power, therefore doesn't do any damage. It's kind of cute. So, all right, and then we're gonna play. Let's play Scorpion and Vessel here. These are both things we don't care if they die. So, need to draw a land or two, but certainly doing things. They can stomp here if they would like. If we weren't so tight on mana, I could see an argument for not playing anything to play around Stomp, but we're a little tight here. You know, we need to draw land. We got to play our stuff. All right, there's your Stomp. Happily putting our Archfiend's Vessel into the graveyard. So we draw some lands. We can Lurrus that back out as a 5/5. Earn Timber. Ooh, Scavenging Ooze. That's annoying. Still not the end of the world. We're just going to kill it, but a mild annoyance to be sure. We draw land, sure. I mean, we're going to kill Scavenging Ooze first and foremost. Play Crypto Agadeem tapped. And we still have our Deadweight in the graveyard, so we can play Lurrus and Deadweight. We're going to put Bone Crusher Giant, sure. And a land, sure. And a Fireblade Charger, sure. Draw a Heartless Act, interesting. So, options here are to act the Bone Crusher Giant or to just play Ayara. We are certainly scared of Embercleave. Embercleave is definitely the best card in their arsenal by a large margin. I think we're just going to say go. I'd like to just kill Bone Crusher Giant with Heartless Act or kill a different big creature if they play that. Alright, so they obviously have Embercleave, which is fine. We're going to block here. They're going to Embercleave. We're going to kill the Bone Crusher. And they're going to have nothing. So that's a pretty good spot for us to be in. We're going to put the Embercleave on the Fireblade Charger. I guess that's makes a lot of sense to play around our kill spell. Sure, that's fine, I guess. We'll just deadweight it on our next turn if we draw land. Gonna kill this anyway. So we draw a land, we're happy. We draw a spell, we're happy. That's an Ayara. Questing Beast is really good. Alright. Now we need to draw another kill spell, I guess. We're a little up the... little in trouble here. We didn't draw land. Alright. Yeah, I mean, this has been a pretty awkward game. I guess we're playing Lurrus, which feels kind of bad. And we don't want the Fireblade Charger to die because it'll kill our Lurrus. We're just taking 1,000,000 next turn. Yeah, not ideal. Definitely needed to... typically, you want to play Lurrus as a 4-drop, and just you want to play it and then play a card off it immediately to gain value. This game hasn't worked out super well in our favor. They're going to move over the Embercleave. They move the Embercleave, then we're in the spot of just needing to draw a kill spell. Hello, opponent. Alright, so... Sure. Just gonna get in for 10 here. And we're not blocking, so... I guess to say yes, that's trample. Yes, we can't really block effectively. I'm just gonna take it. And go to 2. And hope we can draw a kill spell. We get to play a Scorpion out of the graveyard too if we need to and try and draw a spell that way. So untap, we draw Agadeem's Awakening. Not super exciting. Deadweight doesn't really do much here, so we can Scorpion. and just draw off Scorpion and hope we can find a kill spell. It's really our only way out, I think. So I guess effectively first strike, so we can't use Lurrus for lifelink. We draw a Whisper Squad. So it looks like we are dead. We cannot beat the Questing Beast with the Ember Cleave on it. So kind of a rough game there. I mean, just like drew a bunch of 3-drops and only 3 lands and couldn't really get things going and had to use our kill spells a little awkwardly. So that's fine. I mean, good draw from our opponent. Definitely didn't work out the way we would have liked it to, but this can block this. We would still Death Touch, Trample over. We're super dead. All right, that's fine. Tough game on the old Mulski there. So I mean, we have infinite removal spells, so shouldn't really be too worried here. Those Ayaras had been Nighthawk Scavengers, would have been in a lot better shape. On the play. And we have Thirst, Axe, Squad, Scavenger. Scavenger can keep this. Can definitely keep this. Superhero Johnny. Whisper Squad, go. It's kind of cool with the squad also, in that we get to like leave up. That's a bad draw. We get to leave up removal, and still activate squad end step. I'm just gonna attack here. I think. Maybe not. Yeah, just trade the. Yeah, actually, we'll just say go. We do need to draw lands again, for sure. Fireblade Charger, you got it. And they're going to say go. So we're going to pop off a squad. Deadweight. I mean, Deadweight's not bad. I think I don't mind. Just Deadweight here, attack for 2 and play Whisper Squad. It's 0. Doesn't really matter where it goes. Never want to cast a second copy of Whisper Squad, but happens sometimes, you know. No Jace the Mind Sculptor to put our Whisper Squads back into our deck like Squadron Hawk. There's your Lovestruck Beast, sure. We draw a land. Alright, I think it's Nighthawk Scavenger time. Yeah. Get our Nighthawks going. Typically not going to be much more than a Nighthawk against specifically red-green, but I think it's fine. Don't put too many things other than creatures. I mean, they could probably play Fabled Passage. They don't play a ton of spells. Ember Cleave, not likely to go to the graveyard, but Castle Locthwain. We draw land number 4, which is very good for us. We're very happy to draw land number 4. So play that, and we already have 3 of our 4 squads. Just gonna send Nighthawk here. And we need to decide if we want to play another Nighthawk. They could definitely have an Ember Cleave, which we weren't able to play it last turn. So I kind of like leaving up the Heartless Act. We could also just like kick the Bloodchief's Thirst on the Lovestruck Beast and put them in a spot where Ember Cleave isn't even that good. And it just like makes better mana use of this. So we can use this later. We draw land. I like that idea better. So we're just going to kill the Lovestruck Beast the slow, old-fashioned way and say go. Now that they want to Ember Cleave, it's pretty bad. And then if we draw land, we can go Scavenger, Heartless Act. If we don't draw land, we can just go Heartless Act, Squad again. Attack of both, and there's a pause. So we're just gonna block here. I guess if they have Embercleave and they let the Fireblade Charger die, they would kill all of our squads. But I think them playing Embercleave onto this board is like a pretty bad use of their turn. So it's like almost fine, I think. I think I'm happy to trade off here. Sure. So like, they're gonna Embercleave, probably put on this. This will die and kill the thing, and now they just have a 2/2 with Embercleave on it. And like, that's not particularly amazing. We should get to Scavenger again next turn. We have Heartless Act if we need it. Like, yeah, so we're feeling pretty good about this game, I think. I don't think we're losing to a 2/2 with Embercleave on it. We're currently gaining as much life as we're losing off the Embercleave attacks with our Scavengers, so... yeah, bring it on. No fear Shakespeare. We also have Castle rolled up too, so... Scavenging Ooze is annoying, but we're gonna have to kill that, I guess. Right. Oh shit, I can't kill it, because Heartless Act cannot kill a Scavenging Ooze if it gets a counter on it. That's really awkward. Alright, so we have Lurrus. Lurrus is cool. Super awkward, but okay. Huh. What do we do here? If we play Lurrus, we can... I mean, I want to get them on the end step with Heartless Act and Scavenging Ooze. Alright, we're just going to attack. We want to be able to respond to them end stepping Ooze. We also want to force them to do it in a way. I'm just going to cast the Lurrus, I guess. I could also just, like, deadweight the Embercleaved creature, but we got to leave a Heartless Act, I think. So, let's play Lurrus. And then I think we're just going to say go. We'll see if they respond to this or not with the Scavenging Ooze activation. They might target this target the deadweight, which definitely sucks to lose, but target deadweight. All right, so this is fine. So we're gonna use this opportunity to just kill this right now. We do lose our deadweight, but we still have double Nighthawk Scavenger in play, and we still have our squads too, so we can squad back with Lurrus, make some blockers. Feeling pretty good here. Still have Castle in play too. Scavenger Ooze is definitely good against us. The good news is that we just have a lot of removal, so... Alright. That's a party. Attacking for 8. Alright. Kill spell, please. Bingo. Alright, that works out very well. I guess we're just going to kill it now. We could wait for them to equip, but I want to gain a life off Lurrus, so... Play a squad in the graveyard and say go. We can squad up on the end step. Pretty good draw there, but there are a lot of kill spells in our deck, so... Edgewall Innkeeper, sure. Edgewall Innkeeper, sure. And a concession. Cool. So, worked out pretty well. Worked out pretty well. We'll take that. 2-0 with the squad. Definitely, like, red-green aggro specifically. They don't really put many card types in their graveyard, I suppose. It's a little annoying. So our Nighthawks are usually only 2/3s, but once Nighthawk is a 3/3, it's like really, really good. Anything beyond that's just gravy. But all right, so this hand is if our opponent's playing ramp, we're gonna be unhappy. Village Rites, a couple kill spells, Ayara, but I think we can definitely keep this hand. Even if they are playing ramp, we can kill their Lotus Cobra and stuff. And we need to draw either a 1-drop or a land, which our deck is like a large percentage of. So Main deck Duress. Wow. That is an interesting one. We're not even going that far. Scorpion. Sure. So I take our Village Rites, which is kind of annoying because we just drew 1 drop, but sure. What deck plays main deck Duress? We don't know. Guess we'll find out. Temple of Malice. Interesting. Bottom, sure. Ugh, gross. Alright, so pretty terrible draw because not only do we not draw a land, but Demonic Embrace is not going to be very good against a high interaction red black deck full of removal spells. So again, these Demonic Embraces are mostly for the ramp matchup. That is their main purpose. Tymaret. This is like the Rakdos kind of graveyardy deck. It's honestly kind of where the idea of this deck came from. Sure. All right, we drew a land. That's good. All right, so now we're off. Just gonna play Ayara. They have a kill spell. Make him use it before we cast a Demonic Embrace, I suppose. Mill 3 more cards. There's a Rankle. Had such high hopes for this card, but it just didn't really work out. It just is not exactly the History of Benalia you're looking for, you know. All right, so use a kill spell. It's fine. We're just gonna fire up an Embrace. Unfortunately, if they have a kill spell, we're gonna be pretty sad, but. Roxa, sure. Thankfully, this is going to be a matchup where Nighthawk is awesome. So, alright, we're going to ship 1 of the Embraces because we don't need 2, really. And we can just get it back anyway, so. Whisper Squad. We're just going off here. Just get it in the air. They can Croxa next turn, so we can kill it, obviously, but. Yeah, gaining 2 life and scrying 2, not nearly as good as make your entire team 10/10s and kill your opponent like History of Benalia was. Spikefield Cave, sure. Alright, so they have the kill spell, which is unfortunate, but not a great hand for this kind of matchup, unfortunately. Oh, great. Well, we were just talking about you, Demonic Embrace. How not ideal you are, given the current game state. That's okay, though. We're going to play a Magmatic Channeler, which is going to be a 4/4, which is fine. This dies to our Bloodchief's Thirst pretty efficiently. Another Tymaret calls the dead. Wouldn't mind drawing a land, I guess. We can just Embrace and Thirst. Alright, they mill some stuff. Make a 2/2. I mean, I suppose we are kind of dying, but let's see if we can cheese them out and finish them off here. They don't have a kill spell. We killed them next turn, so we get to just flashback Demonic Embrace and kill them. So that would be cool. We would like that. One of these 2 cards has to be a kill spell. I tap out for Croxa. That's also pretty good for us, because we'll know that they're we're safe to go here. Mire Triton. Well, that puts them above death range, so maybe that's not where we want to be. All right, so that's bad for us, unfortunately. Awakening. Not really good enough. We can bring a Scorpion back, but that's not particularly exciting. I guess, like, bring back Scorpion, attack for 4, make 2 blocks. It still puts us pretty close to dead. So we can try and get him next turn. They're gonna gain a lot of life next turn. They're gonna gain 5 next turn. Yeah, I think we're in trouble. I think we're in just 1 point short here. 1 point short. Not the most exciting play of all time, but so they go to 10. This is lethal if we can keep a creature in play. The Demonic Embrace. And also not die. So they scry a bunch. Of course, they also scry in their main phase. So they can't even scry the... 5 cards to the bottom. Wow. 5 cards to the bottom. That is desperation. Very tense moment. Oh my god, they just drew Shadow Skull Smashing. That's a pretty sick draw. All right, well, I guess that's a good draw. So kind of a tough game there. I mean, 1 point short of killing them over multiple turns. They know cards in hand. Rip Shadow Skull Smashing. That's okay. That's okay. So we're gonna bring in Color Demonic Embraces for sure. We're gonna want our Murderous Riders and our Scavengers. We want our nice grindy cards here. Tymaret does seem very good against them. Now, Skyclave Shade's kind of weird because typically against other aggressive decks, you board out the Shade, but they're not really an aggressive deck. They're a little more grindy than that. I think Rankle's definitely going to go because they have a bunch of fodder to sacrifice. We could like shave a Shade or two. Kind of like that. And maybe bring in like... We've got 4 Bloodchiefs, Thirst... I almost think that Heartless Act is better than Thirst. There's a lot of their bigger cards. I guess Thirst can kill a Croxo, which is kind of nice. Kind of like the idea of Deadweight, too. Maybe it's to kind of Thirst to bring in a Deadweight and a Heartless Act. Because Deadweight's obviously great with Lurrus, a little extra variety in our removal. And I think I'm happy with this. Okay, we have a couple Shades for grindy games, but we're not leaning super hard on them. They also have the Spikefield hazards too, so the Shade's not going to be as amazing as we would like. We're going to be leaning more on just like good quality grind and our Nighthawk Scavengers, which should be absolutely monstrous. Maybe we want a 3rd Shade. I think let's try 2. Let's try 2. It's weird because like we want removal, but like we're not huge on it because they are like kind of grindy too. It's not a matchup I played before, so we're going first. Hand is fine. It's not great, but it's fine. Don't have a ton to do with our Village Rites. Murderous Rider is gonna be great against them. Obviously, most of our deck was 1 mana spells, so you know we're drawing pretty hot here. Not a lot of what we're looking for. Tymaret's fine. We'll play the old Tymaret. They could stomp it if we play Tymaret, but I think it's fine. There's Swamp. And a Swamp. And a Mire Triton. Sure. Channeler and thing. So now we can just like jam Scavenger, or we can just slow down a little bit and play like a Scorpion, leave up Village Rites, and leave up a Timer activation, which is kind of nice too. Kind of like pumping the brakes a bit. I don't mind trading Scorpion with the Mire Triton. And I think this feels pretty good. Tymaret's a bit of a holdover from the Euro days. There were 2 Tymaret in the deck previously. It's a fine card. It's not particularly super exciting, but all right, it's excellent. It's a Village Rites here for value, which is great. Great. They play a mountain, sure. Agadeem's Awakening. That's also pretty awesome. So we need to decide what we want to do this turn. Nothing to lure us back yet. It's basically to Scavenger or leave up Murderous Rider. I think I like playing Scavenger here. We also have Agadeem's Awakening now, so we're building towards that. I think just playing Scorpion and playing land is also very defensible. We could just end step Murderous Rider or something. They have plenty of creatures to kill, so I kind of like that, actually. Let's hold off. Because they have a Heartless Act here. They're going to kill my Scavenger, and I feel pretty bad about it, so just say go. Cycle Shredded Sails. Okay. I mean, that would have killed our Scavenger, so I guess we're smart, I guess. Being smart's cool. Scavenger's freaking huge. Instant land sorcery. Tymaret Calls the Dead. Right. Vanilla Croxa, sure. I guess we're gonna hold on to Murderous Rider. We're not gonna play it into a deadweight. That's kind of awesome. Okay, I think it's just a double deadweight turn. This seems way too good to pass up. We'll play. I have to play Agadeem as a land, but I think that's fine. Now there's a lot of pressure on them to actually kill the Lurrus too. Otherwise, we get to recast our Graveyard Eater. When they kill the Lurrus, we play it's the Scavenger and kind of just get him. I guess I could like choose to cast Croxa here, but so we would lose one of our cards. I guess that would be pretty good. All right, they have Bumper Shrines. That's fine. Ooh, that's pretty bad. Croxa from their hand. Oh, that's tough. All right. We'll dump the Murderous Rider. Just try and get the Scavenger going, I think. That was pretty good. I guess the problem is they Croxa and we should lose it anyway. That's really annoying. So, I guess we're just playing this as a land. It feels kind of awful, but we, if we could cast this for 2 or 3, it'd be awesome. We can't. Just play Nighthawk Scavenger. The question is, are they going to Croxa this turn, yes or no? So if they are, we want to play this as a land. They Croxa, we attack for 5 and gain 5. Feels bad, but I think they're almost guaranteed to Croxa this turn, so Scribe bottom, gain 1, sure. Now we have a 6-power Nighthawk Scavenger. A Rankle, Master of Pranks, which unfortunately can block our Scavenger, and we drew a land. Oh no! So maybe we shouldn't have played this Agadeem. I don't know. Maybe I'm just wrong. Am I interested in trading Rankle for Scavenger? Not really. Not really. So that feels really bad. I just thought they were almost guaranteed to play the Croxa, and having our 6th land in play seemed better. So we draw our next Awakening. It's like actually good, but that might have just been a big mistake. Just gonna play this, not lose it to Croxa, I guess. Just gonna say go. I think we messed this game up. Like, we're pretty flooded, but, like, we also just, like, played a good spell as a land. Which might have been a mistake. Casting Awakening for 3 here to get back a Lurrus and a Tymaret would be pretty good. Alright, they Croxa, we take 3. Want to draw a kill spell here, but now I gotta kill the Rankle or the Croxa. They also get to shrink our Scavenger, which is kind of annoying. I guess we should have saw that coming too, right? We could have just taken our trade in 6 life, and now we have an even smaller Scavenger. All right, I'm gonna. I should have attacked last turn. I think I played this game pretty badly, unfortunately. All right, play squad. We get the full squad here, which I guess is not the worst. Just a lot of blockers for Croxa. Oh my god, this is just a joke. Extinction event? What? In your graveyard-based creature deck? Oh my god. All right, we're gonna pull our squads out. We don't want to draw them anymore, so. That is just unreal. All right, I guess seems like a hard matchup, honestly. Especially if they have extinction event, like. All right, it's kind of a tough match. I think that's a pretty bad matchup. They definitely kill our creatures well, and they're kind of doing what we're doing, but like their things are a little thicker, even though their mana base is kind of wonky and stuff like that. But not sure if we board it completely right either. But we'll take it. We'll take it. 2-1. 2-1. Tough one. All right, match number 4, and no lands. We're gonna mulligan. Okay. All right. So we're going to ship Deadweight and Rankle and just hope that we can make some moves here on 5 cards. Island go. Island go. Mountain. Lucky Clover. Oh, sure. This is probably going to be bad for us. I think we're going to Rites the Vessel right now and just try and draw some lands in the 1-drop. Alright, well, we drew a land, I guess. Maybe I shouldn't have played that Swamp. Definitely want to keep the second Rites to fizzle an adventure, possibly. But, alright, that's a card. See what they're up to over there. Alright, they're gonna Bone Crusher. Sure. It's not ideal. And they're gonna cast Bone Crusher. Sure. I mean, playing Rankle here doesn't really do anything. We get to get in for 3, but like we also take 3 ourselves and 4 on the swing, and just like we're not going to use any of the triggers on Rankle without like a foddery creature in play. Other options is play Tymaret and leave up Village Rites. Honestly, it's pretty bad too. All right, I guess we're trying to play it. We're definitely the beatdown here. If this game goes long, we're in trouble. So we're just going to say nothing. I don't want them drawing a card because they don't have enough green yet. Just going to hope their hand's mostly green cards. Lucky Clover, obviously the best card in their deck by a significant margin. So the games they have it are much worse for us than the games they don't. All right. Well, they didn't have a thing, so that's good for us. We also drew a Scorpion, which is pretty good. So now if they have Brazen Borrower, they have to use it. Otherwise, Rankle can keep their Bone Crusher Giant. We're not going to play Tymaret yet. So I'll just bounce that if they have the Brazen Borrower, which it looks like they have. Alright, so the copy is targeting Scorpion, the real one's targeting Rankle. So I could fizzle the real one if I wanted to sack the Rankle. I don't want to do that though, so this is fine. Alright, so we're going to Tymaret the Scorpion and hope they miss on a green source again so we can Rankle and kill their Bone Crusher next turn. I guess they can actually play Borrower and block. Borrower is like specifically very good against Rankle because it also just blocks it too. It's one of the few things Borrower can actually block. See what they do here. Locthwain. Okay. I mean, trading Rankle with Brazen Borrower is not particularly appealing. So I think we just play Rankle and just say go. I guess we can send him a Tymaret. And then we'll block Scorpion on Bone Crusher and cast Village Rites and just try and get this game get moving here a little bit. Sure. So now we can like Bloodchief's Thirst to kill the Borrower and try and get him a Rankle next turn. They're going to hardcast a Fae of Wishes. Alright, so they're mana screwed, but they're kind of doing their thing, so we're going to see if we can push through or not. Village Rites. Awakening. We've got a 1 and a 3. Skyclave Shade is a 2. I mean, obviously, the Fae of Wishes can block the Rankle. Maybe we're just setting up for a huge Awakening next turn. Just trade the Rankle off, and then maybe return if we draw land. If we don't, we still have a pretty good Awakening anyway. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna Thirst the Fae. We're gonna attack, play land, play Shade, and say go. We could leave Tymaret back to block. And then we would just get it back with the Awakening anyway. It's actually a pretty nice thing, a nice backup plan, I think. Let's just attack with the Rankle and make the trade. So we've got, play Fae again. We've got Archfiend's Vessel, Ayara, and we're going to block with the Tymaret, so we'll have a 2-drop also. They're not going to attack. Wow, interesting. All right, so we'll eat their graveyard. Run a lander spell here is fine. Another Archfiend's Vessel. All right, so we'll just do it for 3. I guess we'll attack with both of these. Or attack with one of them. So we're gonna we need to recur a 2 anyway, so we don't need to recur a 2, but alright, 1, 2, 3. Get back Ayara, Shade, and Archfiend's Vessel. Bunch triggers. Trigger Ayara a bunch of times. Vessel triggers, trigger Ayara again. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Alright, so I mean, they certainly are mana screwed, but they were doing things for a bit, you know. Play Shade. Green. Play Vessel. Green. Send in the 5/5 flyer. And the Shade. And Tymaret, I guess. Alright, so we'll sack Tymaret to draw. They're going to bounce their Fae most likely, which is fine. Bounce the Fae, you can see it. I mean, that's the thing you can do. Sure. So a little fortunate there, but they obviously didn't have many mana. But they did do multiple things in the early turns. You know, they double bounced, double stomped, played creatures and stuff. So, all right, we're going to, unfortunately, our deck doesn't have a way to kill a Lucky Clover, which is a little tough. But we've got, don't want Deadweight. We don't want Bloodchief's Thirst much either, honestly, because they don't really have any things that are cheap. It only really kills the Innkeeper. We can kick it, obviously, but definitely want all the Heartless Acts. Scavenger, I think, is pretty good against them. I mean, it gets blocked by the Borrower, but flying in particular is pretty good. The Embraces are pretty bad. They just have all of these Brazen Borrowers and stuff. So even though flying is pretty good, I'd rather just play an actual flyer than try and embrace them. So bring the 4 Scavengers. And I almost want the Murderous Rider over the Bloodchief's Thirsts, but killing the 1/1 for cheap is pretty good. Tymaret's not particularly exciting. I don't really like Rankle much either. I guess it's only specifically bad against Brazen Borrower. It is pretty good at like making them sack their big things too. I think this is fine. Not thrilled about Tymaret. Maybe we cut the Tymaret for a Bloodchief's Thirst. Four Heartless Act, 3 Bloodchief's Thirst. All right, let's try this. Pretty solid hand. We can do this. Okay, Triome. So maybe there's looks like they're playing the Omnath version. So Omnath Adventures. So it makes our Heartless Axe even more important. No Clover. Love to see it. Send in the old Scorpsky. And we're just going to play a tap land here and say go. I don't think having a Heartless Act up is worth the damage. What can they play on turn 3 that really matters? Just say go. They're going to stomp the Scorpion, sure. That'd have been a terrible spot for us to have Village Rites there. That'd have been so good. And play Greenland tapped. Not exactly mana base of the year over there, so play Scavenger, just say go. They want to play Omnath here. We have ways to kill it, so they're gonna Beanstalk Giant, sure. Get a Mountain. Play a Pathway. Let me draw another Agadeem's Awakening. Sure. So we could go Lurrus and Scorpion here, which would make Rankle on a future turn much better. I kind of like the idea of that. Again, Lurrus being a 4-drop basically. So now if they play a big thing, we can Rankle and sacrifice the Scorpion, which is nice. See what they're up to. The games they don't have Lucky Clover feel so relieving. It's just like that's a pretty bold move there. So they escape the wilds. They hit a lot of stuff. They hit Omnath, Giant Killer, Fae of Wishes. They hit the world here, but looks like we have a free turn to smack them around. And they're going to play a Giant Killer just as a chump blocker. Okay. I mean, firing in Rankle is the most damage by a pretty significant margin. They do have Omnath, so we certainly have some desire to leave up Heartless Act. That does make that somewhat appealing. The problem is if we live with Heartless Act, we don't do anything else. Like anything. Hmm. Three, 4, 5, 6. We would put them to 9 if we attack with the Rankle. Alright. I'm not sure. Maybe I should have left the... I'm not even sure, honestly, what we should have done here. I go with everything. Maybe we should have left up the... Because we also could... Sure. Right, so Rankle triggers. I'm going to have each player draw a card. They have so many cards, I don't think it matters. Alright, so... I'll get to Omnath this turn and do a lot of dirty things. So maybe not leaving up Heartless Act was just too risky. But... Oh, they can Fae for a... Oh, they have a Storm's Wrath. I played terribly. What a terrible play on my part. I'm just an idiot. I guess they lose a lot of their cards because of that, but that was just really, really dumb, I think, on my part. Alright. We're just playing Ayara and playing Scorpion and straining. I mean, that did get rid of a lot of cards. Like, they didn't get to play Omnath, they didn't play Escape the Wilds, and stuff, but I think that was just a really bad play on my part. They're at 5. We do have Ayara in play, so... We're going to Lovestruck Beast, sure. Play Lovestruck Beast, sure. Play Bone Crusher Giant, sure. Let's play a bunch of creatures. This is fine. We're just going to play our own creatures and drain them out. So, Agadeem's Awakening. Does that kill them? We sack Scorpion. Yeah, they're just dead. So we sack Scorpion. We drain. We Awakening back Scorpion. And we drain and we drain. So, awesome. We'll take it. We'll take it. I'm an idiot. Is my brain mush? Am I just like not... I don't know why I thought I could sack it twice. I don't know. Yeah. Alright. Mushy brain. Mushy brain. So we're going to bounce Fae, which is discard 2 cards. And then I can Fae for a the lifelink thing. Yeah, just huge punts on my part. Huge punts. What are you doing, Jim? Wake up. I'm going to get red cap melee. Okay. That's interesting. They not have a Shadow Spear in their board? So they're going to play a Fae here. We're just going to Doomblade our own Scorpion to kill them. Alright. This is, okay. I mean, usually it's like to have Shadow Spear on the board, but alright. So, play bad, win anyway. Probably didn't deserve to win this game, but we did, so we'll take it. Oh, I'm sure, yeah. So, pretty sloppy game there, but we'll take it. The good news is if I played less sloppy, we would have won even harder, so... 3-1. 3-1. Yeah, I think I for some reason I was thinking of Ghost Rider, I guess. I thought I could sack the thing twice. Obviously, Ayara can only sack things once, but it's okay. It's okay. 3-1. Finish strong here. Going first. Hand plays. Really not Archfiend's Vessel. We already have a 2-drop, so don't need to activate our squad. Forest, Innkeeper. So it's hard to know what deck they're playing, because if they're playing like red-green aggro, and they can play a red 2-drop and draw a card immediately, we want to kill this now, but they're playing Temur, they have no 2-drop adventure creatures. Let's play with Shade. We are risking them drawing a card, but They would just be playing a 3-1 they can't block if they're playing red, and they have to actually have it too, and be playing the deck, and so on and so forth. Alright, so everything I just said came true, unfortunately. But the good news is, like, this can't block anyway. So, another Shade. Alright. Alright, so we're gonna... It does feel bad to waste the Heartless Act on a 1-1 when they are playing larger creatures, but I only really want to let them draw cards, so... Also have Rankle topping the curve too, so it's kind of nice. Unfortunately, this is on cast, not enters the battlefield, so it's not like we can respond to them playing something and decide later. Guess who's back? Back again. Sure. Well, plenty more where that came from, I guess. Coming in. Another Shade. A Squad. Not the exact plan we want against this deck, but... Just casting Bone Crusher will draw them a card, but isn't like great here because it doesn't block very well. And ideally we just draw land and Rankle them. So I think if they send the Rimrock Knight, which they probably will, because why wouldn't they? I'm gonna block with the Squad. I doubt that we're activating Squad this game. We're so short on mana, and we're either drawing a spell or a land and casting Rankle. So. Or they'll just kill the Squad. They can't even block. So, sure. Works for me. I mean, now we draw a land. They're not dead, but they're, like, obviously pretty close. Didn't draw a land, unfortunately. It really sucks. But... Alright. They go to 6. We play a Scorpion and say go. Get over here. I think this is a pretty easy block. Would I rather Scorpion dead or Archfiend's Vessel dead? I guess we have no way to recur the Vessel. And the Vessel's a lifelink attacker, so... I'll block with the Scorpion. This right now means that the Innkeeper has to block, unless they have a better creature to block with, so... Land. Rimrock Knight, draw a card. Okay. So we're both operating with 3-1s that can't block here. Both not ideal in the matchup. And a Mammoth. Alright, so draw land and they're dead. There we go. Unfortunately not Skyclave Shade, much as I love you. No hidden reach here, right? Is there any reach in any of these cards? Alright, cool. So honestly, taking game 1 against an aggro deck feels really good because our sideboard's so good against them. So we're going to bring in our Scavengers, our Riders, our Heartless Acts, and our Deadweights. Take out the Rankles, the Embraces, the Shades. And we're going to shave 1 copy of... Probably... Like... Honestly, the Whisper Squad's kind of a little sketch. Just like the slowest card. We never want to draw more than 1. I think the life gain from Scorpion's a little more important. And the Archfiend's Vessel is obviously great because the 5/5 flyer is really good against them. So we're going to shave a Squad. I think I'm pretty happy with that. So now we just go into battle with like a dozen removal spells and 4 Baneslayers in our deck. I like Whisper Squad a lot. Super cool card. Makes you think hard about deck building and deck construction and so on and so forth. Well, it's not a no-lander. It is a 1-lander, but don't think we can realistically keep this hand, so we're going to mulligan. Sure. That's fine. Who wants to bet that our first draw step is Whisper Squad? Opponent's also on 6, so it always feels nice. You know, if your opponent mulligans the same number of cards you have, it just feels safe. It just feels correct. 6 cards each, you know? They have Robber the Rich. Can be a little annoying, but they have 1-drops, so they're not going to rob us. Not trying to rob you. Vessel. We're going to Vessel first. Might get a few chip shot points of lifelink in, and then I'd rather them stomp this than my my squad, so... Alright, well, there's your robber, and they have robbed a Bloodchief's Thirst, so, gonna have to kill this robber, I think. Ayara. Ayara's pretty good. Let's give him the old dead weight. I think that holding squad here is actually somewhat reasonable. A squad's obviously very good with Ayara, being able to squad and then activate immediately, like the turn after next, but... I think if their turn is stomp my squad, I'm like okay with it, so we'll just let it go. It's also only 3 squads, not 4, so it's only 75% efficiency. Spike Field Hazard, sure. Honestly, better than spiking the vessel. So and Innkeeper. Okay, so now we're in the spot of do we want a Murderous Rider as Innkeeper, which is an interesting question to say the least. They're only kill spell, but they're kind of stuck on lands, and if they start drawing cards, and they're kind of stuck on cards too. I think we're going to kill this. Doesn't feel awesome, but I think we're going to take it. We have plenty of kill spells. I'm not really worried about, you know, not having more. Scavenging Ooze. That card's very good against us. Alright. We're going to Ayara. Play Vessel. Say go. They can eat their own things, just whatever. The problem, unfortunately, that this thing once it gets counters on it, I can't kill it with Heartless Act. Thunder Rebuke. They got a lot of stuff going on here. And they're gonna eat my Ayara. Sure. So now I can't Heartless Act. Dead weight. All right, we're attacking. We're gonna think about it for a second, though. You don't want to like slam attack here because then like it's like. You didn't think about it. If you think about it for a bit, then maybe it could be a bluff of some kind. So, all right. So, honestly, it's a really good bluff. Like you probably attack there and they never ever block. So honestly, almost any card you draw, you should probably attack for 2 here. All right. So we're gonna say go. So we have 4 Bloodchief's Thirsts, Questing Beast. That's pretty good. Let me draw another squad. No. I only have 1 squad left. I mean, we can dead weight Questing Beast. That feels pretty bad, but... I kind of think we slam here. I don't think they'll block this because they're scared of us Lurrusing it while we're tapped out. I'm just going to attack. Got him. All right. I mean, both pretty low resources here. They have 2 cards and an ooze, so I would say that they're ahead. But we have a castle too, so... Yeah, I mean, this thing's about to get really, really big, so... I'm just going to do this now and just save time. Get a squad. We did board 1 out, so we only have 3. So they're going to make his ooze and do probably a 7/7, honestly. Just go all the way. And then we are just drawn to a kill spell, honestly. There's 1 creature left. Just don't draw Heartless Act, you know? Village Rites. Not bad. Not bad. All right, so let's swing. We'll rights off a squad here. Sure. Looking for a Bloodchief's Thirst. Or a Murderous Rider, that's fine too. We'll take that. We'll just do this right now so they can't exile the rest of our graveyard. So we're going to keep our dead weights in there for our Lurrus, which feels awesome. So we did it. We found a kill spell. Now we should have dodged another another ooze or why you like this? Good news is that it's reset, so now at least we have time to find an answer to it again. It's not a 7/7 anymore. Agadeem's Awakening. I mean, that would be good in the scenario of them not having Scavenging Ooze. So they have 2 green. We're going to attack here with... So if we attack and they block, we get to play Lurrus. They would need to eat both dead weights. But then we could hit the vessel. We're going to attack both of our vessels. Oh wait, they can just pump with the... They pump ooze to the other 2 creatures? No, there are no creatures. So they would pump the ooze to a 4/4 in response to us playing Lurrus. And then we can't dead weight it. This actually might be bad. Yeah. That doesn't work, actually. Okay, never mind. No attacks. Just cast Murderous Rider. So good. Just gotta buy time until we can find another kill spell. We have more kill spells than they have Scavenging Oozes, so this should work out for us, you know? Another Thunderous Rebuke, sure. Heh. Okay, well that changes things. Because now they have 3 activations. We have 3 dead weights, potentially. And there's no creature. So we're going to attack with the Archfiend's Vessels. Because if they block, we'll have 4 things we can bring back. And this will only be a 4/4. We have dead weight in our hands. Yeah, attack with these. Alright, so cool. So now we got him. So damage happens. Now we play a Lurrus of a Dream Den. Oh wait, I screwed up. I mean, I'll play the land's fine. In response, they can remove deadweight, Archfiend's Vessel, and then we just play deadweight from our hand. Yeah, works perfectly actually. All right, so we go deadweight. This also leave the deadweight in the graveyard, which is awesome for us. So now Lurrus is a must kill as well. They didn't remove the 3rd deadweight. All right, so a pretty good draw there. They got Stomp, so they can kill my Lurrus and play a threat, which kind of sucks. But we've got Castle going still. Scorpion, sure. Probably going to triple block here. If they have an Embercleave here, we could be in trouble, but... They didn't slam into the red zone, so hopefully they don't. That happened really quick. We're blocking. I think we're pretty happy with that exchange with a castle in play. So all right, Castle Locthwain is just so good. It's unreal. Ayara, get that life right back. This card is just unreal. It's unreal how good Castle Locthwain is. Like, it's just not even remotely fair. A Mammoth, sure. Let me draw an Agadeem's Awakening. So we can get back Lurrus and Archfiend's Vessel. That's awesome. This deck just got some great grind, you know? Lurrus and the Vessel. We can cast. So all this stuff happens. And we can cast our Scorpion too. Get a 5/5. Play the Scorpion. And say go. No trample here, so landfall's fine. I mean, despite this being kind of bad for us, it's still like totally fine because there's that on board. So yeah, like we take 10, we go to 10, we kill them. All right, I do take 12, whatever. Sweet. So that was a really good example of a deck grinding. Just kind of keep going and going and going and going, even against 2 Scavenging Oozes that were very, very effective against us. So 4-1. This deck's awesome. I just think this deck's really, really cool. It's very fun. It's competitive. It really is like a lot of fun to play. A lot to figure out as far as kind of figuring out what your role is, when you should go for stuff. A lot of cheap cards. I love decks with cheap cards. You have to decide which ones to play. When you're playing like, you know, just a mid-range deck with like 4 2-drops, 4 3-drops, 4 4-drops, 4 5-drops, you're just like play the most expensive card every turn. But when all your cards cost 1 and 2, a lot of choices to make. So do you wait on Lurrus till you have 4 mana? Do you play it on turn 3? Deck's super cool. I like it a lot. Rewards, good play. My record with this deck has been really, really good. Again, I like an 8-0 run in Mythic last season to high Mythic. We just went 4-1 now. I did do bad in the Star City tournament with it, but I wasn't playing super great. I don't know, just things happen, whatever. But yeah, with Euro gone, the ramp matchup seems better for sure. And the deck's just great. Just a super cool deck. Make sure you focus on understanding how the games are going to play out. It's a good lesson on, honestly, overall for Magic in general. To be good at Magic, you need to have a vision for what the game is going to look like. You know, how's this game going to end? You know, if you're playing a control deck against an aggro deck, how's the game going to end? Either you're going to draw a lot of cards and turn the corner, or they're going to kill you. So, like, don't make aggressive plays, make defensive plays, and so on and so forth. So, having a vision for how the game is going to end with this deck is very important. You know, are we going to grind them into the ground with Skyclave Shade? Are we building towards a Nighthawk Scavenger? What's our plan? So, deck's super sweet. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm Tim Davis for CoolStuffInc.com. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are about standard decks. I know standard's been kind of crazy right now. Modern formats you'd like to see. I would love to hear that. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. I'm Tim Davis for CoolStuffInc.com. Of course, also, I'm sorry. Go to CoolStuffInc.com proper as well. Check out the article that goes along with this video, as well as last Friday's article for a much more in-depth analysis. Usually my articles with these videos are, you know, just a short little rundown of a deck. Well, last Friday was a full deal. I go over every card in the deck and why it's there, and the sideboard as well. CoolStuffInc.com, free content every weekday, including myself. Promo code Jim5, 5% off your order. That's all I got. Thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.